but we found there's a strong connection.
I would rather deal with organized crime than disorganized crime. Because in disorganized crime, everybody's out there doing whatever they wanted to do. In organized crime, only certain people can do it.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Corruption Connection. I'm your host, Tony Hernandez. I've seen those tasers literally not work. Like, I don't know if it's a 50-50 shot. I really have no idea. And you actually have to hit them. If they have like jacket or some kind of heavy clothing on and it doesn't actually clip them, those things won't work. You know, the leads will just come right out. So I'll tell you another example where, you know, we had to fight with a guy and the taser didn't work. So we're at a subway station. I believe it was Suffin. Can't remember. We were in plainclothes, you know, doing the undercover thing. We're hanging out just at those stations. Most of the time when we had no initiative, it was to go after the known criminals, to address the known problems, which were the swipers, the people committing grand larceny, the pickpockets, the violent robberies that were taking place. You know, we would kind of just implement ourselves into those stations, kind of just to see what was going on and kind of get a feel, you know, get our hand on the pulse. So we're in this station and a robbery comes over the radio and I don't see what actually happened. I kind of see someone run. I don't know. It's a sergeant initially. So this is what happened. We're at the station. The sergeant runs. I don't see the sergeant initially. I don't even know it's him running. I just kind of see like a dash in a way, but I don't know if it's him because we're kind of spread around. I had lost sight of the sergeant. We usually we're in pairs, so it would be two on one side of the station, two on the other. In this particular situation, I was with the sergeant. I see a gentleman with the NYPD radio in his hand, a regular civilian. He's going up to the booth. Now I know I'm NYPD. That's my radio. That's got to be one of my guys. I'm like, oh shit. Like in my head, the wheels start turning right away. I'm like, all right, who's missing or what happened? And I can hear, and I'm going to go get that radio from the guy. I'm going up to him. I'm about to identify myself, take out my shield and say, hey, NYPD, let me see what you got there. And I can hear him say, hey, I just found this on the floor. I just found this on the floor. And he's at the booth, you know, the token booth. He's at the booth where the MTA personnel work. And he's like, hey, I just found this on the floor. And I say, shit. I say in my head or whatever. Now I know that was my sergeant running after this guy. Couldn't get him. He must have dropped his radio. So if you lose your radio, you're up shit's creek. You're in a lot of trouble. You're definitely going to take a big command discipline, and these people hit you for 30 plus days, 30 plus vacation days in a year. That's like your whole vacation, you know, who wants to lose that? And you can actually be brought up on some other charges, failure to safeguard, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I grab his radio and now I don't have eyes on him. So I know like the way that he might have ran was up these stairs. So I start, you know, I don't want to run directly in a situation in a particular direction without actually looking around and seeing maybe he went this way, maybe he went that way. I was guessing that maybe he went towards the right up these stairs. So I go towards the right up the stairs. And as I'm getting to the top of the stairs, it was escalator stairs. So I'm walking up these escalators, smoothing, you know, kind of like skipping one step at a time. And as I take like my third step, I can see the sergeant at the top of the steps with the taser. It's yellow. Taser's out. The leads come out. The darts shoot. Hit this guy's jacket. Nothing happened. Just takes it, keeps running like nothing happened. We caught him eventually. He slipped. And we kind of piled on top of him after that, whatever, and was able to get him in cuffs. But that taser actually hit his skin. We saw that one of the leads went in his skin and one hit his jacket, and he was still able to pull him out. So there's so many factors of will it hit the skin? Will it work? Is it timed? Will it go through his clothing? I mean, they're not always 100% accurate. You know what I mean? So in that sense, I saw the guy get hit. He did like a little shake or whatever, but was able to rip it out, keep on running. So they're not always 100% effective. I think utilizing all the tools you have in a particular situation, whether if it's in an open area and you need mace, crowd control, mace is pretty good. If you spray that thing on the floor, people start leaving, you know, they'll start fleeing because they can't take it. The baton, it works depending on how you utilize it. You know, the ASP, the expendable baton, is a very beneficial tool. And then at the end of the day, you have your hands. You know, I think a lot of cops should be trained in hand-to-hand combat as far as jujitsu and stuff. I think that helps, makes you a little bit more confident, and you learn how to de-escalate the situation a little bit better when you're confident. So I mean, sometimes these perps are just crazy, and with the mental illness and the substance abuse, you never know what you're gonna run into. That being said, always have your head on a swivel, and situational awareness is paramount. I always say it, whether you're a cop, whether you're a civilian, whoever you are, if you're going to ride the New York City subway train, make sure you have eyes in the back of your head, not buried in your phone. I hope all you guys enjoyed this story. I'll see you guys on the next episode. As always, I'm your host, Tony Hernandez, and this is Corruption Connection.